I'm telling you, young man, this resource right now is not available from me, because I don't have that money to spend on you. This is the whole truth. I recently got an iPhone 14, and the moment he saw that I got an iPhone 14, was like, young man, send me money. I'm like, I don't have money.
You have money.
Yes, I have money.
Wait. I want to ask you.
I don't have.
Wait, why how can you tell us that you bought an iPhone?
I don't have money. Let's.
How much did you spend? Okay, let's. How much did you spend on the iPhone?
The iPhone was around 700 plus.
I say you don't have
Please
money.
don't end the show. Just stop the show. Please stop the show.
Never really know what's going on.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My name is Adefolami Agumbiade. Welcome to the Darkpore Show. It's a show that helps young people start new things, start new careers, start new families, start new relationships, and help people figure out the way the world works. Okay? Alongside with my co-hosts.
My name is Agoboluti. On social media, I'm at Governor General on Twitter.
So today we have like 3 shows lined up. Okay, and the first show we'll be discussing.
The first show we'll be discussing how to handle financial expectations or begging from friends, families, and those who just see around.
So thank you very much for joining us. You're our guest. So let's just like meet our guest for today. So
Hi, my name is Dasola, and I'm a student and also an entrepreneur. I sell thrift actually, so I am not single.
Okay.
Good day, everyone. I go by the name Emmanuel Samson Timitope. I'm also a student of SAL, that is South American University, and I'm an hair therapist. Yeah, I deal with hair. We talk about your hair and how to grow your hair, and also I'm much of an introvert and a flag.
Okay.
It's one and only Animal Shandamilari. A risk analysis. And you can catch me on any of my social media, which is always Animal Sound Senior or Animal Sound _SNR.
You're welcome.
Hey, hi, I'm Lois. I'm a student and entrepreneur too, and also a fashion designer. I'm an introvert, a very big one, and how would you put it? I go by something that I call discipline. I'm a very disciplined person, a very strict person. So my Instagram and Twitter and TikTok handle is Luisa, just Luisa.
My name is Miracle Samuel, and I am a student. So I'm much of a tomboy, and also I go cross gender. Can go by the male character and the female character. So
Okay.
I'm Blessing by name. I'm also a student. I'm a baker. And you can find me on Facebook, Bello Blessing.
Hello everyone, my name is Alabisi. I'm a fashion designer, an entrepreneur, and I'm a very big introvert.
You're welcome.
Hello everyone, my name is Ogechi Hilda. An event planner. I stay in Ikorodu. My Instagram handle Ogechi Hilda, TikTok Ogechi Hilda. Thank you.
My name is Oji. Yeah. That's Oji actually. So you can catch me on LinkedIn. Also Oji. I'm a software engineer. I'm not a student. I have to emphasize that. So yeah, LinkedIn or on GitHub. If you're on GitHub, if you're an engineer, I can find you on GitHub.
All right. So
Hello everyone, my name is Miracle Joseph. I'm an entrepreneur and a student also. You can catch me up on my Facebook, Mirabel Joseph, both on Instagram and TikTok.
My name is Agnes. I'm a printer and also I'm an introvert. I don't like going out.
My name is Lisa. I'm a tech blogger and you can find me on Instagram, strategic blogger.
Okay.
So thank you very much for coming for the show. So many things has popped up or cropped up during the course of our conversations. Because some people have just said some couple of things, like you mentioned a couple of things, and which at some point of time we'll jump into the conversation, right? I hope you're ready for the fire that is going to burn. All right, but that aside, so today we're talking about how to handle financial expectations and begging from friends and family. Okay, a couple of things. The world we live in right now, it's easy. It's very, very easy for you to access your money. In the past, you had to physically go to a bank to withdraw money from the bank, fill a teller, they'll give you your cash, and then right now, it's easy for you to transfer money. There are so many cash transfer apps. There are so many platforms, and so it has made begging seamless. It's made you don't have the usual excuse, I don't have any money on me, or you can cash up me, I don't have any money on me. You can't use those excuses again. So for today's conversation, we will be discussing how to handle financial expectations begging from friends and family. And my co-host will be leading us in the conversations.
Okay, today's conversation promises to be very interesting. We'll talk about what is prevalent in our society today, which is begging, and the urgent 2K syndrome that everyone here must have experienced, or perhaps you might have at one time or the other asked someone for urgent 2K. Why it's urgent, I don't know. It's common in our society to see people begging. You go to the airports, church, just along the road, anywhere, you see people asking for money. And it's not that we are stupendously rich. The economy is not, stress is not favoring everybody, and things are getting harder every day. Pray it gets soft. And so we're thinking of, so this discussion will center around how to handle such financial pressures without the public perceiving you as wicked. Because if you say perhaps you don't have, people will say, oh, he has, he's flexing, he's going out and doesn't want to help and all that. How to handle this financial pressure or this begging without people seeing you as wicked or somehow. So that's what our discussion will center on today.
So let's jump into the article. Okay.
Still on Nigerians' begging attitude. In life, it is almost inevitable that people will need other people's assistance at one time or the other. For one reason or the other, who may not be able to meet up with his or her responsibility and approaches friends or relatives for help. At festive periods like this, the just celebrated Christmas and New Year and beyond, people are encouraged to share with the poor and the needy. There's nothing wrong with this, but there's something wrong with the rate at which able-bodied Nigerians beg for money. At every institution, many public places, you see well-dressed men and women softly begging for money. Recently, I visited a place for a business transaction, and at the gate, a well-dressed, cheerful security guard who zealously ushered me into the compound. I wanted to park my car at one end of the compound, and he insisted that I should go to the other direction, which was more spacious. In my mind, I was like, what a dutiful staff. He was not done yet. As soon as I switched off my car ignition and I was about to open the door to come out, he rushed and did it, smiling from one side of his mouth to another, offering unsolicited information and a guide on my whereabouts in the facility. I sincerely thanked him, hoping all the VIP treatment will not be subtle way of begging for gratuity. Behold, I was wrong. As I made to step into the building, he whispered, Madam, don't forget the favor why I do you. I had just encountered another corporate beggar. A day before, I had a bitter encounter with one, a pump attendant at a petrol station who called me names for refusing to part with my hard-earned money. Having inquired about the well-being of my family, admired my car and showered all unasked encomiums on me, expected the monetary appreciation for which was not forthcoming. And the next thing I heard was, stingy woman. They are everywhere. At petrol stations, banks, offices, both public and private, hotels. You see a lot of people begging while on duty. At the airport, train station, and in particular, all important offices in this country. Anything for the boys. Your boys, they loyal, seems to have become a part of the official language. Of course, this shameful attitude did not start today, but it has taken a more serious, disturbing dimension in recent times. Many people, particularly the security personnel, front desk officers, customer relations officers, have turned their duty post to begging offices.
Okay, so let's take a pause here. So the author of the article has narrated. It's almost as if the guy is angry.
It's a lady, actually.
I think it's a woman.
It's a woman.
Yeah.
That even makes it worse. Okay,
so he has described the experiences that, should I say, the average Nigerian face every day, or the average Nigerian that is not begging face every day. So I don't want your reactions to it.
Is there anybody here who has had experience with you've had such experience that made you wonder what's the level of entitlement?
Okay, so I didn't actually get from a corporate beggar. So this particular day, I was coming back from school and it was already late. It was around 6 even. Everybody was rushing to go home because of traffic and everything. So this man just walked up to me. I heard him talking behind me. I didn't really put my mind on what he was saying. He walked up to me and he was like, what you are doing is not good. Your mother is suffering and stuff like that. Are you talking to me? He was like, yes, I'm talking to you. That he would go and pray for me. I should give him money. I was like, okay. How much do you want? I was like, I should give him 1,000. And I was like, sir, it's 1,000 that is in me. I cannot trek home. Let me pay my transport fare and I'll give you the money. I was like, okay, no problem. Me trying to be like, okay, he's going to pay for me and that's going to be the end of it. The man was like, okay, let me call you your contact. And I gave him my contact. I gave him the money and I left. On getting home, he called me and he was like, his prophet said, I should bring 5,000 naira. And they want to go and climb mountain for me. And I was no, it actually was like very, 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 the way it sounded was sounding very sad and like something bad was going to happen to me the next moment if I don't do it. And I was like, Mommy, come and see you. My mom was like, and you have given money before. I said, yes, I've given. Now your money, I made one chance. Go and collect your money. I was like, Mommy, no, I cannot call. The man kept calling me and calling me. He noticed I could not pick his call. I did not pick his calls again. And he was like, he sent me a text message that if I don't want to do it, I should go and share range for beggar. And I was like, Mommy. Mommy was like, I should give him the money if I have. And I was like, I'm not giving anybody money. This one is professional liar and begging.
Mommy said you should give him the money.
She said I should give him the money if I have. And I was like, I don't even have cob on my account again. I'll give somebody 5K. I'm a student. I'm not working. You expect me to give you 5K. And the man was like, I don't want to do it. That what will happen to me is going to be bad though. And I said, sir, nothing can happen to me. Nothing. Oh, motor cannot jam me. Nothing can happen to me.
I'll jump in right here. I think we should distinguish between corporate beggars, people who actually beg professionally. Okay, we'll get to that part of the conversation. I think we should start out with friends and family, because it's usually easy for you to say no to corporate beggars.
Yeah,
a lot of times you don't look at them,
just ignore and walk away.
I know the article that we've just referenced is focused on begging from. I think, or rather, the conversation should be begging from people who feel that they have either done you a favor or people who are doing their job. Do you understand? So we can take it. What you experience right now falls into the category of people, like he said.
Is a scammer.
Exactly.
That's
right. But we're talking about people who they are working day to day. They do their jobs and they beg you for money. Or friends and family who are working, all right, who still reach out to you, because those ones are the tricky ones.
Yeah, I recently encountered one. He's someone who supplies goods and he sells spare parts. So when I was in Abuja, he was still in Lagos. So those period, things were really hard for me trying to get a house and accommodation because the money was not in bulk with me then. While here in Lagos, he recently made some certain car deals and huge sum of amounts got to him and he was really okay at that period. And he's my cousin and I'm a guy now. And like normally now I'm in the category of the one begging with style, like after a big man. Raising your boy now. To my surprise, I wasn't really even surprised. It was like he doesn't have anything. But yet, my brothers has already told me the story and he's really living large right now. And since he doesn't have, and this is the mentality I do have, whatever I have is what I work with. So after a couple of months, while I was doing my thing, the way I was doing it, trying to manage my own life, trying to see whether I can get an upfront of 5K before salary day, this man still came into my DM and he's like, half a big man. I'm like, hey, bros, hey, how you dey? The next thing is, I beg, if you do me sub 1K. In my head, I was shocked. I was like, guy, I heard you had millions. Not just millions. Tons of it. How come you are not asking me for sub? He was like, that money is small. He opened extra shop. He opened this. What happens to those shops? You see that they are not functioning anymore. It's like, now this money is small. It takes twinkle of an eye for the money to disappear. Shall run me time based on the way we be before. I couldn't say no because at that period, he knew it was my salary date. And that's the funny thing. He will come on my salary date to come and request for money. And obviously, I would try to give him because it's always small amounts that I can do away with. Now, this is one thing I now even notice from that particular person. Is like, even if I do not have that money, because after giving him the first one, he kept on increasing it. He kept on increasing the type of favor I'm going to do for him every single time. It started from airtime to 2K, to 3K, to 4K. And at a point, he was telling me that he has a particular issue of like 30,000 naira. Any amount I can come out with that should help him with. I'm like, bro, this is the middle of the month. I can't have any money right now. And it sounded like it's very urgent. Now, this is where it's very surprising. I said, now it's a month 10 before we go see money. And he said, he will wait. I don't understand. You are saying this thing is urgent and you can still wait to the end. And the funny thing is, he did wait. And he did later made me send 10K. Come on, 10K is a lot for me now. But I was very angry I sent that money. And afterwards, I just tried to hang up his call anytime he's trying to call. I tried to avoid.
Do you sit up to him now?
I have lots of messages I don't reply to on WhatsApp.
Okay, so we'll come back to your story during the conversation. I want us to respond a bit to that article rather. Sorry, I picked up the article. Does anybody? I'll get back. We'll get back to your story. We'll get back to your story during the second act of the show. You mentioned one time that you had a friend like that who would call you urgently and say that he has.
Okay. But he's still my friend actually. And
okay, you want him to hear this?
Of course, he can hear it. He's not going to get give me any money. So I used to have a friend. He's still my friend. And he might see this. So he doesn't bill 2K, 3K. His bill is like 70K,
wow,
30K, 50K. And this is the format. The format is Alpha OG. So now when I see Alpha OG, I just archive the chat. There's no Alpha OG. I want something. I get 200K. It can mean 100K to complete them. Like already I don't get 200K. Person want to give me 50K. If you want me complete, they give me 50K. That's only the format. You need to want something. He has something. He needs something. So always, and this. It has been good not that I was saved to be saved, like we saved together and all that. So I already know we stayed together at a point. In fact, I did some for him because we were together. He was my friend. He's a good guy actually. So, but after the guy is still giving me money till now. He's still money till now. So what I do to avoid him now is that once I say Alpha OG, and the message, like you said, the message coming around ending of the month, beginning of the month. So what I do now, once I see Alpha OG, I'll just bill him ASAP. I'll bill him first. I think that's what I will do now. Immediately. I think that's what I will do. Alpha, I beg. I don't want something. I need something. OG. You will not reply. That's what we do now. I think those things affect the relationship because now I can't call him like, hey, Alpha. If I call him, what we end that call is one billing like that. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, so at the end of this show, one of the things we will do is we will share different ways that people can tackle it. Okay, you can tackle this issue. Times are hard. Okay, generally for everybody, there's inflation. Things are getting expensive, and it's not as if incomes are rising to match up with the cost of basic food items. So as a result, one needs to be on top of your game financially with handling the little funds that come your way. So at the end of this show, hopefully, like he mentioned, that his own approach is a bit psychological in the sense that you have a psychological approach. Before the person makes the request, you quickly block it with your own request and all that. We want to explore exactly how we go about handling it. The ladies have been very, very quiet on this show. And I'm beginning to suspect the reason why.
I want to listen more about it because
of the billing.
It's not about billing. They bill us too.
You want to know the strategy so that you can figure out how to.
I want to hear because I have them plenty.
Oh
And
my,
sometimes I
they're
don't even
much.
reply. They know me that I can give. Sometimes they just know that I will not say no to them. It's not about even money, self. When you want them to do something for you, you see them like, oh my God. Oh, darling. There's one, I say, just go straight to the point. What do you want? Because you cannot just come to my DM. She don't call me to greet me. When you call like this, you see her call. It's for you to help her do something, borrow her money, this one. And she knows that, okay, anytime she just sees me post any event, I've Amma. That's the only thing. Hey, babe, Alpha, share me 5K. I need it now. And I will just, okay, let's share the money. I will not give you 5K. I'll give you 2.5. Me too, let me hold the 2.5 for myself. Finish. And immediately, you not even allow me to even say, okay, send your account number. Bam. She have sent it by herself.
All right. I'll ask Udi a question now, because I think we were driving we're going somewhere together, and then we drove somewhere.
Okay.
Call.
Yeah.
We were on a particular trip, and then something happened, and it was game changing for us.
It was a whole new level of billing. We're driving morning. I don't know, but a weekday morning, like weekday. We're driving and someone threw, like it was so targeted, threw paper into the car like this. So I picked it. And I looked at it.
Okay.
Wow.
I saw account name and account number.
Nigerians.
Like it was so shocking, like account name and account number.
Help me.
There was no help me.
There was no help me, no statement. If it's
just put
account name and account number, you know what the person is, the message.
He didn't even type anything. He didn't type it. He wrote it with his hand.
Yes, with Pyro.
Just wait the account.
All right.
So then,
was he in traffic?
No, it was not traffic. The car was moving, yes.
The person has targeted it. In fact, they have seen you from afar that you're coming. Yeah. So
okay, there was something I just wanted to say. Okay, there was. It's not really. Okay, when I used to go and visit my mom, most time I go to visit her. I grew up there, so there are some guys that I sit there. By the time they see, they think you have money. Me, I don't have anything. So they bill you constantly. Like I said, I'm a software engineer, so there was a time where how can I avoid this stuff? So there was a little system I created that if you are with me and you are billing me, I won't transfer for you. You see that the money has gone.
LP.
I'll be debited, but you probably will not see anything. Yes, actually, I did that stuff to avoid billing.
You designed that particular app to avoid billing?
No, not me actually, but just to avoid billing. You get me? Like something like that.
I don't download the app.
you need to tell me that, Apple, please.
All right, so we'll go more into that in the show. So I think that's a technological solution.
but don't use it to places.
Malo, I go use them.
All right, so we're back to. So let's go back to the article. Let's see. So of course, this shameful attitude did not start today, but it has taken a more serious disturbing dimension in recent times.
Okay. Many people, particularly the security personnel, front desk officers, customer relations officers, have turned their duty posts to begging offices. They would always blame the current economic downturn for their unbecoming attitude, which can be totally true, about the millions of people who are jobless and have no means of livelihood. Have they all taken to the streets to beg? One thinks it's a social malaise which has a lot to do with our ethical values. A lot of people in the country value money and other material things far above integrity, self-respect, and self-dignity. And so, they will do anything, no matter how shameful, to acquire them. This is why a young man will spend his energy to fetch water in a jerry can, or probably even buy the water, take it to a bad portion of a very busy express road, like the Lokoja-Abuja road, and be pouring the water on the road with a bucket, expecting the road users to throw thousands of naira at him. And he will not hesitate to throw water on any vehicle whose driver or owner fails to comply. A teacher once made an analogy of two families. One has 4 members and the other was a family of 11 people. Both families were given 200,000 each to spend for a month. According to her, halfway into the month, the family of four almost exhausted their money and could hardly pull through to the end, while the family of 11 comfortably made it with the amount they had and even had some balance. What was their secret? Prioritization and prudent management. Therefore, it's not how much money we make through our salaries, begging another means, but how we manage the money. There's hardly anybody in the country today that is not feeling the economic bite, and the only thing that will help everybody, both the low and the high income earners, to set their priorities right and learn how to live within their income, instead of hoping on tips from some big men and women and doing all kinds of ridiculous things to attract attention. And
Okay, so let's take a break here. I would say that the way the article is, a part of this particular article, the author is actually coming across as a little bit privileged.
Okay.
Sort of. A bit privileged. And the reason why I would say that is because the article makes it sound as if everybody can manage. Okay, so let me ask this question. I know we're debating right now, but do you agree with that part of the article in which the author of this article is saying that if people prioritize and they are prudent, they'll be able to make their income work?
No.
Do we?
I think Nigerians are prudent.
So work as well. Their income work.
Because
they might not need to beg people.
Lisa, what were your thoughts? Do you
I think
that
I think you can make it work.
every Nigerian, if they are prudent, can make their salary work?
No.
No, I don't think so.
I deal with numbers, so I know it is no.
Okay, let's say a reason why. Because before we get to how to tackle begging, I think we also need to address a fundamental issue. Now, why do most people beg? Are there people? Okay, you respond to your reason behind you saying everybody can make it work. But let's just first ask this question. Let's be honest. All right, you won't tell anybody. Is there anybody here that you send people those messages? He has confessed already.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do.
That's why you say, okay, that's why you say.
It's always urgent.
When things are hard, you ask for
You ask people for help.
Yes, I ask people for help.
So right now today, you probably have asked people to send something.
No, I haven't.
Okay, but you ask people for help.
Yes.
Okay? Is there any other person else?
Yeah.
I do.
You ask for financial assistance.
I
Okay.
think she's a rich woman here.
Okay, so is there anybody here who does not send to people that please help me out, find something for your boy, show me some love?
They won't take me seriously.
They won't like that.
Like if I ask people for money, they won't take me
They don't think.
seriously.
But do you ask?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay, so I guess the question, maybe the show should even be, how do we ask people for help? Without being seen as beggars.
There's actually different
I think
strategies
it's
of asking
more
for money. There are times I'll just open messages and I'll just say, please, can you help me with 3K? I'm asthmatic. I want to buy asthma, that inhaler stuff. And I think I'm going to quench very soon. And I'll be like, how many people have you sent this message to? And I'll be like, I don't have. Even if I have, I can't give you because you're practically lying. That's actually
Emotional
very
blackmail.
I learned one thing, to be honest, and I think this strategy will work if you really want to beg.
Okay.
Just type, Alpha, bro, I beg, I need like 500 naira ASAP. I want you to run something. Send it to like 30 people in your group. I'm joking.
It's reasonable.
There was practically a day I did it, and I got up to, I think,
I've not done it
8K.
before, but someone sent it to
Well,
me.
you
I
did it.
did it for fun. I was like, Alpha, bro. I even sent it to Mr. AY that, bro, I beg, send me 500 naira. I want to use it and do something sharp. AY sent me 1K.
But you can't do it twice. That's the problem.
Not
Like,
just that, you can't do it twice. It comes with a downside.
I was like,
You may burn through your circle of friends.
yes.
No, what if two people are
I mean, you
together and
can't
they
do it all
just
the
sit?
time.
Actually, I told all of them that.
You know, that stuff
there was even
going
one
on
I had to
TikTok
return
that you have to
2K.
like send digits to people online. I think when the person sent it to me, I was like, "Oh, to be TikTok, bye." But me, I didn't reply because I felt like even if you that you're sending me, you are into Yahoo. Me, I am just a normal person that people look up to that I have money, of which I just dress and I don't have shishi in my account. But I just had to tell him that, guy, I know if you render this help for you, just rest. And this guy actually posted the amount of money he earned by sending those digits to people. I was like,
You'll be surprised.
He even posted it.
It's not really the Yahoo boy. They used to post screenshots like he sent or maybe send me 1K and somebody might probably send 5K, but only need their ASAP. Then he should posted screenshot about the transactions. Like, I can't even enter your DM and say, guy, Alpha, run me something. Except to meet in person. But will gather, come out and how. You know, there are some people that they can't send you money, but they are ready to spend everything on
Actually,
you.
very frustrating because most times when you ask a guy like, Alpha, come and give me 1K, I'll give you back. Most times they're like, am I the one that is making you mourn? Am I your boyfriend? What's your boyfriend? And it's kind of annoying because those people are the kind of people that when they need something, they'll be like, Alpha, let me do this and I won't run shit. I'll give you back sharp. And you help them.
Why can't you ask again?
Yeah, you tell them now. Go to your girlfriend. Go and meet the girl. The girl will tell you, I don't have. I depend on my boyfriend. That's the girl for you.
Noise.
Sir?
Okay. All right. The conversation you just had is a completely separate conversation.
That's
separate conversation.
That part.
The part you don't want to go there. All right? Because if that's the case, you have a dad, you have a mom, you have younger sisters, you have brothers, you have a pastor in your church. If you're a Christian or you attend a church, you have all those people in your life.
Actually, I found will make you more like you said.
This is someone you acknowledge as your friend. Okay. Like you guys are friends.
Talk to your female friends. Like Ogechi said. We'll get back into it. Let's hear Lisa. Lisa, you said that if you ask people, they won't take you seriously.
Yeah, they'll think I have it. I'm just whining them.
Of course you have it.
Maybe because you look.
Of course, you look like someone that has it.
I look fat.
Okay, so you don't ask people. You have never asked anybody to send you, or the level of asking is. Yes. You probably will say you ask someone for a car. Or a house or something.
No.
Okay, Lisa doesn't want to go viral.
The way I used to do it is who said something about like sending messages to like 10
like a
people
broadcast.
at once. Yes.
Nigga.
I asked like 7 people for 10K each and I got 70K. Well, more than 10 people, but only 10 people replied and I got like 70K out of it. So I do that once in a while, but it's been a long time since I did it.
I think
the once in a while, like how frequent is the once in a while?
Like once in like 6 months or 8 months.
Not like once every week.
But I think I'm going to start the broadcast stuff.
Okay, so we started a show asking people to help to deal with
pressure
and all that. And in the middle of the show, we found out that people are learning how to deal and now want to
increase the pressure.
Yes.
They are sharing updates.
Okay, I should want to say something. Okay, concerning this thing about begging, we discovered that it has various ways. The coming in of the begging, the proposal of the begging, the person who is begging, and also how the person is even begging. And one thing about begging is that we consider who is begging, how the person is begging, when the person is begging. So now, who the person that might be begging might be actually your close friend. Okay, and how is it begging? Because there are different styles and ways people come in to beg you for something. And one of the most, let me say that, one of the most easiest ways, the familiar people with you. They get so familiar with you and they have this kind of aura that we don't date together. So definitely this thing will do your hand. You forgive me. And again, when the person is begging, probably you might have seen the person 2 days ago, even eating or doing something or flexing his life. And after that 2 days, comes to your DM, asks you for money and everything. We used to even go ahead to give the person. So who is begging actually matters the most. Now you can't expect your mother, yes, you are in school. She might actually does want to call and ask, mommy, I say you be firstborn and say you dey work somehow, you dey hustle and she does ask, nothing dey out. So that is who is begging.
So he's not begging, please.
That's not begging.
No, sorry. He's not begging.
Somehow, I have a friend that I have a friend that his mom actually will just, please just send this thing, please just send this thing, send it to me, please. He has a way of cutting, blocking, putting everything aside so his mom doesn't get to him. Even his sister does. Oh, wait. But you can't just talk like this now. You just told me that there's a guy who blocks his mom and when she asks him for things.
Yeah, sure. That is not nice.
No,
It's possible.
maybe it is depending.
Is he a student?
Maybe.
Yeah, sure he is.
Oh,
So reaching
And
the
it's
level
well.
how
Yeah,
far she
it's
had gone.
You don't know how the
Okay.
mother is frustrating. You have
Yes.
annoying parents. Sorry to say, but there are people that can frustrate your life.
Well, that's another reality on it. So yeah, sure they are. So I'm sure it's not a day thing that she does do. Assuming it is one she asked and he blocked, and I'll say you're bad. But I'm sure it is in a continual form of asking.
How does this your friend make his money?
He has one person that connects him to some people and everything just.
Baba.
and-
Let me tell you this. You're trying to format us now.
Exactly.
It's at this point. Listen, I told you at the beginning of this show, so let me go into this. The vibe we're going for. We're old friends. We haven't met in a long time.
Okay.
And we're telling ourselves the truth. We're not bullshitting ourselves.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
you owe the people who are going to watch this. You'll be surprised. Somebody's going to watch this and the person finds himself exactly in this situation. So let's not tell them things there that sound like you are a motivational speaker.
No. Okay.
What does your friend do for a living? Be honest.
He's actually a pure student. This is how he gets his money. He has one of his uncle back then. His father helped, and finally his uncle made it, and through the parents got his number. It has been long I've seen this guy, and I really want to help him. And after that, they got to discover that he do send him money on a daily basis. And
So his dad's brother sends him money.
not dad's brother, but like his dad helped this guy at a very young age. So growing up, he made it, and just to pay back the goodness and okay, let me help your son. How can I get through your son? Oh, your son is in school. Get his number. Was helping him, and his father and his mother got to know that this guy has been sending him money. So they felt like things are really getting fine for him over in school, and she would call and be like, the money has sent now, stuff like that.
So his mom feels like he has won a lottery or something.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
So you've collected this thing now. Send, there's nothing. Send, there's nothing. And he has a way of telling her that I am using this for something, but she finds it that, are you making me suffer at home and you are there in school, putting him in that situation whereby you are a bad child. Yeah. So it got to him that, this is getting too much. Let me step out of it for a time. Blocked her, disconnected her from himself and everything. So it got to that point that he has to be like, Alpha, he should call you. Like, if his mod coming, I should just tell her that he's nowhere around and everything like that. Has it gotten to that? Yeah. And I can't even step into that situation because I understand. So somehow, some mothers and parents actually does that. They put that pressure of, okay, you are doing something now, Alpha, same. And some are not even shy or even ashamed about it. They believe that, okay, it's time for you to be giving me stuff. So who is begging actually is important. How the person is begging. Some have a way of easily pleasing you, Alpha guy, and you'll be cool. In fact, you don't know when you drop 500 now on top of the 1,000 where you won't give the person.
Yeah.
You just tend, so how the person is begging, and when your pocket might not be speaking at that point in time, and some have this crazy feelings for going extra mile for people, even though they don't have much in the pocket. So this can be considered who and how and when the person is begging.
Manuel, thank you very much for the inaugural lecture.
I was like, land plane.
I want to ask him something.
What you're asking, is he going to give us another round of lecture? Because we'll write exam at the end of the time. All right, so we'll get all your questions. Okay, the question you ask him, is it a yes or no question?
No, it's not.
He's going to have to explain.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe you should type a question somewhere on your phone and then you ask him in the Q&A. Let's just move on. You wanted to jump right in. When you said something about, parents being annoying.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yes.
Are you comfortable?
Yes.
Can you talk about that in 2 minutes?
Okay.
Okay, so because you're saying parents are annoying, so let's.
I would say I've been in that shoes before. Not my mom. This is my auntie. You know that I do event, and anytime I just post anything or I do any small jobs like cake and I post online, you have money, send me. What is your husband doing? You're not doing, he's just there. You are the one hustling for him. Beg everybody. If you are not begging my auntie, you are begging this one, you are begging this one. To the extent they even know her as like a beggar in the family. She cannot just, when we're having meetings, she cannot just come around there and sit down because they have given her one side of the, can you keep to my DM? And I said, okay, I will help you, but will you please give me time? I'm expecting money, yes. And I have to finish the job first before I can say, okay, let me spend out of this. That's my rule. I cannot just get there and just start spending. I have to finish the job first. And I said, okay, please, can you give me? The next thing was, if you know you don't want to help me, I said, it's my money, and I'm the one that want to give you. So I told you, calm down. She said, now, it's urgent. The children want to do this. I said, auntie, in fact, for this, I'm not giving you again. She started reporting me everywhere. I spoke rudely to her, and I was this, I was that. Since then, I reserve my comments.
All right, so I think we've.
And why is that? These things actually they are more particular in women. I don't know.
Yeah.
Why women tend to beg more than men?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Actually,
All right, so let me ask. Let's just a random poll. How many of us feel that women beg more than men? Just by show of hands. How many hands?
Everybody.
Okay, how many people feel that men beg more than women?
It's in between. We are all human. Like we are all human beings. It's in between. A man can beg, a woman can beg.
More. In my own DM, it's men no.
It's men that are begging you.
Which type of men are you?
Let them understand something, that men has ego.
Yeah.
Yes. They have ego. They cannot just come to a girl's inbox like your DM and just say, babe, do me. Me, I will not answer you. Sorry, sir. What is your hand?
All right, so let's get back into the show. Right? We'll get back into the show. We've actually gone off course. We're supposed to talk about
Wrap to the article then talk about stories. Yeah.
Okay, well, I think we're done with the article. I really think we're done with the article. My own question to everybody because the way it is we're talking right now, we have people here who are saying that they beg. There's no way to listen, you can't sugarcoat it. And then we have those same people who say they beg, condemning begging in other people.
And we have those who bill.
Billy no and begging. Please, I want to know what's the difference.
I'm not condemning people.
There's no difference. Last time they are still going to give us the money.
I can bring a difference between the two. I can bring a difference. Begging, the person does not ask for a specific amount. Billing is a specific amount attached to it.
Okay. And a very good reason attached to it. It's not.
But for me, this is it. I'm not condemning people that are billing or begging.
No, I don't condemn them.
Normally, sometimes you be in a very tight corner and you have a particular person you could just turn to at that particular moment and you'll be like, how far, my guy, this is what was happening. I told you about when I was still looking for how to sort out my accommodation. One of my friends had to send me 50K. Now, he's currently studying in UK, doing his master's. But he was like, I shouldn't worry about that 50K when I wanted to pay him back. Because what I used was, borrow me 50K. And I wasn't saying it like I was going to return it to him. But he knows I was working. That I can figure my stuff out afterwards. But I said borrow me 50K. But that 50K, before I could return it, was like 8 months after.
They happen.
And I was just trying to avoid small talk with him. I know I've fucked up. So in my own part, I was trying to raise that money little by little. And when I was finally able to complete the payment, and we used to do thrift, ajo. So after the end of the year, we will now pack money. So after packing my own ton, I was like, Alpha guy, your 50K has surfaced. Let me send your money to you. And he was like, he has even forgotten about it. That you sent it to him. Which said? so you don't forget about it.
So you forgot about the money.
You're not nice.
Okay, so
no, I kept it too.
Sir, please, I want to ask him a question. I want to ask him a question. Yeah. Okay, you said billing is
there's an amount
and
begging
there's no amount. Okay, please. Which one is the urgent 2K?
That's billing.
No, that's not billing.
That's billing.
That's not billing for me because
there's an amount attached to it.
Wait now. You dey ask me this one today, 2K today, 2K tomorrow.
You are
Is
being
what? You are begging. For me, I don't feel.
I want us to stay on topic. So right now we have gotten to this point. So I want to understand. Okay. For whoever is not ashamed to talk about it, right? I want to understand exactly why
do we beg?
Why do you beg? For those people that you have begged, because you don't beg everybody, but why? We'll get back to you. So let's talk to the ladies first. Why?
Okay.
We're not shaming you. We want to get into the psychology of why people do it. You know?
Okay. Me, if I want to ask you for something, sometimes I might not have, and sometimes I do. I might have some certain amounts in my account, and I'll be like, this money is running low. And I need to like add it up.
Top up.
Exactly. So I'll just like enter 1 or 2 DMs and be like, Afa, please. And sometimes I use Ogboju. And sometimes Ogboju does not work. So I just have to like calm down to my level and just beg. So the reason why I beg is probably for a top up or if I don't have.
What's the definition of what's the definition of low? Low in your account.
I don't understand.
If I have
This
like, okay, let me just say 5K,
What's shocking?
10K in the account.
Why is it? No, we want to listen. We're not castigating anybody here.
No, I'm not castigating.
Okay?
Just
The goal of this show.
Yeah.
This is not a Christian church of God. All right? And it's not Salvation Army. You get me? We're being practical here. So that whoever watches this show can deal with real life situations.
better.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay? People are holy. Nigeria is selling the largest amount of alcoholic drinks. Do you understand? You understand me? So we want to understand this. Okay, please let's just. So, yeah, what is low for you?
I said 5K, 2K.
Are you being practical? You're saying that if your account balance drops to 5,000 naira,
Since I started
it will
earning
trigger you sending people text
my
messages.
market, since I started earning, so me going to my own normal wallet, if I have like 5K, I am broke. If I have like, sometimes I might have 10K and I'm still broke.
Okay.
My friend used to tell me, guy, try the chop. I hit a
Chop
lot.
up.
But you know, just to take from that thing, from your money, it's always like there's no trigger. But when people spend on you, you can just like do anything you want to do. But when I still earn from my dad, actually, I collect my monthly allowance and it's
I'm going to ask you a difficult question to answer, and think carefully whether you want to answer it.
okay.
Right? If a guy shows interest in you, right, and you are not interested in him, do you send him a DM for money? Or let me not say have you ever done it? You can choose not to answer. You can decline.
No, I won't. Okay, I can ask him for money. I am not interested in you doesn't mean our friendship end.
Let me just rephrase what she said.
Why?
Because she spoke woman friends. Let me rephrase it for the guys who are watching this. That are not interested in you. Does not mean our friendship ends. It means that I'm not interested in you. Does not mean I cannot collect your money.
Be a cheerful giver. I don't understand.
I don't understand.
So you're practical. So Dasola has told us here today in this show that if our funds falls to a critical threshold between 5 to 10,000 naira, okay, she can send DMs to people who are interested in her, who she has no interest in.
But to be honest though, I don't
Wait,
just...
are you saying you've not been honest since Monday?
I am honest,
But
actually.
not completely.
I am honest, totally honest. I don't just send DMs to just random people.
You can't wash. Listen, you cannot wash yourself white out of this.
Me, I am this type of person. I respect myself a lot, actually.
Everybody does. I want to confirm something. Sorry, I want to confirm something. Like people, I just want to. It's not. I just want to confirm. Like people you build the most. I know there are girls there, there are boys there. Like which gender do you build the most? Is it male or female?
Of course.
Male now.
I don't understand.
All right, so we are hearing from the horse's mouth. There's no point.
We are going somewhere.
Okay, so let's have. We'll come back to you, right?
Problem.
We know we're cracking jokes and all that, but we'll come back to you. Know that you were about to say something.
Yeah, I said on that one you said you asked her when you are not interested in a guy, will you build? Sometimes you want to send the guy away. Like he's asking you and you don't want to do it, and you don't want to you don't want to have anything to do with him. You can just bill him and he will not answer you again.
Okay, so you are telling me that you are serious. Lisa,
Some guys are not listening.
Definitely when they will not answer you, like they will say, no, I'm not going to give you this, then you just use the opportunity, maybe block them or do away with them like that. So,
But they will say you are this kind of lady that is just to ask for money.
Lisa,
And you are trying to spoil with ladies. So.
I think some guys, like, even if you build them, they will still be there. Like,
exactly.
So, like,
Those
no,
are
no,
the ones that
they will still stay.
they won't give you the money and they'll still stay.
Yeah.
Yeah, some guys are like that. Some of them ask you to
Just
send
some-
them chat card.
Guys. Lisa, you're talking to them, not to me. Right.
Yeah. We're still asking for a church card.
Yesterday, I said, please, can you do me a chat card? I'm somewhere, I need to call somebody.
That's not a guy, please.
You are
And
saying
even
that.
after
So you are
the
saying
chat
that.
card, they will not still pay you back.
All right. So
Men don't do
Lisa
that.
was saying something. Okay, you were saying that there are some people that you will build them and they will still stay.
Yeah, they will still stay. So,
I want to say that people that you bill and they go means that you've been giving them cold attitude for a long time.
Yeah.
You bill them. If you've been probably responding to the guy's message and you bill him, if he has it, he'll give you now.
Yeah.
Sure,
They don't go, except if you're giving you cold. I'm not speaking to you know.
No, maybe what she's talking about is that the size. Maybe you ask the guy for like 250K.
Well,
And yes, you have to have a big amount, so the person will not be able to afford it. Like when you want to build the guy, you can just ask for a very big amount. So the person will not. After the person rejects, you pick offense, and then you can do anything.
Okay, how much have you asked for? That was a big amount that the guy said.
It depends. It depends on the kind of guy that asked you now.
The one that you have done, how much was it?
Okay, like I don't know how I'm going to explain it. Like the guy, with his capability, you could build a person 20K, 30K, 50, and the person did not like comply. You know
How much have you done?
Exactly.
And the guy rejected.
The highest amount.
You've done.
Or like
The
I went,
highest billing.
with the guy and his capability, I asked for 20K.
And the lowest is what? And he said,
And the guy locked off at 20.
Locked up.
Guy wasn't good looking, Abby.
I was not interested.
Why not interested?
Even if he's good looking, but
But I actually think there are some that will still give.
yeah.
what now? Give 20K now. He's serious.
I actually have this guy in my DM. This guy has been all over me. And the fact
Pause,
that...
pause. So if you are the guy in a DM they are watching, just know that you are the one he's about to tell the story. So yeah, continue.
So he has been all over, even with the fact that I keep telling him I'm taken, I'm not single. He doesn't want to listen to that fact. So there was this particular day I wanted to make my hair, and my money was not up to. I was literally like very confused because I needed to make my hair. I was going for an event on Saturday. So I was like, okay, I don't have anybody I want to call. My mommy said she will not give me money. And I called him. I'm like, what's up? Can you give me 5K? And he was like, okay, send your account number. And I sent it. He actually sent me 10K. And he was like, wait, it was actually like when I finished making my hair, I should come and see him and he wants to take me. And I was like, I will not be able to, I will not have chance. And I was like, okay, no problem. Probably when I'm
I'm not working.
I should let him know.
Ah, they
Now,
very
even after this stops, I can actually go to his DM again and ask him for this amount. But now I don't want to look like somebody that will keep begging from him when I know I will not give him a reply. I tried told him already, I'm not dating you, I'm not dating. There's
Or
nothing
you
to
probably are just keeping him.
actually admire the fact that it's present. There are some guys that are doing that DM. Yeah, you are not doing okay. Bye bye. We're going.
Yes, sir. So you are his persistence.
Yes, because
Is it sin?
somebody that if he
That guy
passes
is-
my house, if he
that guy
passes
is
my
a
house,
sin.
it doesn't.
I think you should give me the guy's number.
Sir, he's pursuing something.
Why is he pursuing?
He's pursuing something. You know that. Be patient. A patient dog is the fattest water. So now, if she change her mind, all of a sudden, call. If Oga don't say that, I don't like it.
You know what Tanke can do for a guy and a girl?
There was actually a statement he made. He said, if you break up with your boyfriend, remember that there's somebody waiting.
Oh my God.
That is the growth of Sims.
Sorry, is he a student?
No, it's not a student. It's a YouTube with school. It's a marine.
I feel like I'm
engineer.
watching.
Oh, bring it to this show, please.
I feel I'm watching. You know when you're watching an accident, happen in slow motion.
Now, anytime he passes my house, because we have a store in front of and he sees me in the shop, even if he doesn't want to buy something, he makes sure he enters that shop and gets something.
Wow.
Because not because
he just wants to
see me and wants to greet me.
You woke up.
So I actually feel that guys that if they're interested in you and if they feel okay, they'll give you their amount. It's not about being cold and everything. Karma is a bitch.
You said karma.
Sorry, Lisa said what?
Karma is a
bitch. You're saying
And he told him that you are not going to do anything.
Exactly.
I literally told him I have a boyfriend. He sees my pictures and
he
sees everything about
You
it.
see, sir, I believe.
We are feeling bad for
No,
this.
I'm not feeling bad for him. I'm not feeling bad because there are people like that. They just feel that okay. I think I said a story about chooks or no chooks. Till today, no. Let's be fact till today. I'm very sure that if I say I want to marry him now, he can take me as a second wife because yes, he will continue.
Don't go there.
No.
You have spoiled it.
You are so spoiling the thing.
But I'm not go there.
No, sir. You know why? Wait now. I'm saying because I feel I understand what she's saying because he will always call you. I left him because of some certain reason, but he will always call you, check on you, do this, and still tell you that I still want this thing.
What not to marry you.
So what does he want? What
is that you for?
It's not about you saying he will still tell you that his wife is not this, he still wants me. And me, I left him because of that particular thing he still do. And he cannot just change about that.
All right, so I think that, and I say this respectfully to you, I think Chooks is still living rent free.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that. Because anytime we talk about him on the show, I know that you smile the same way you're smiling. You throw your head up and so, but we're not talking about Chooks today.
No.
Please, let's not bring him into the conversation.
Okay.
All right, so to recap some of the things that we've said so far, all right, and thank you very much for Dasola for being honest. Thank you for being honest, for taking one for team women. What you have just told us right now is that when it comes to women asking men for gifts or money, a lot of times they do it because it's possible. They know that they will get it because the guy wants them in their lives. Okay, so in that particular case, the guy cannot say no because he has a romantic interest. And I begin to realize that this conversation probably was difficult. It's a difficult conversation to have because we probably should have had this conversation among men and probably among old women. Because young women have something. You have a currency that young men do not have access to.
I didn't thought.
And you know what that is?
They have access to it.
You have sexual appeal that will draw men in and men will part with their resources for.
Clitoporency.
Okay, so let's take that conversation out. Okay, let's take the conversation of people who want to date people out of this conversation. Because not everybody who is asking you for money wants to date you.
Exactly.
Okay? And some people will feign romantic interest in you to actually collect money. You haven't seen, on this show, we've seen the flip side. We've seen somebody who actually was able to extract resources from the opposite gender out of romantic. So let's take that out.
Finesse.
We're talking about finesse. Beautiful. So we're talking about day-to-day conversations and your day-to-day lives. You told us a story about family. While I would not call that story begging. Okay? I will not call that particular story begging. I probably feel that the young man also needs to take a good look at where he is. And I'll tell you the reason why. Because if your parents are badly in need and you have the resources to help them out, then you have to take a good look at the situation. Right? But you also need to it's difficult, it's dicey, and I think we should even let's take that conversation, because let's forget about strangers on the way. You can always pretend you don't know strangers. The stranger can beg you, and you can look at the person and not identify the person as an individual. Are you with me?
Yeah, sure.
So let us talk now about family and friends. And I'm going to give you guys a scenario. I'll give you a scenario and I'll ask you how you handle it. It's always sweet when you're the one asking people for money. But just a scenario. You win the lottery. You win a lottery of 100 million right now. How many of your family members are going to show up?
Everybody will show up.
Like 100.
Practically everybody.
Everybody in your family will show up.
The extended family.
Your extended family will show up. If you win a lottery, is there anybody here who, if you win a lottery, people won't disturb you?
Nobody.
Okay. So let's assume you win a lottery now. How do you say no? So, because he said something critical in his story much earlier. He mentioned that people wait until it's the time of the month when they expect he will get paid the salary before they come to beg. Because they know that if they ask you in the middle of the month, you will say that you have not been paid.
Yeah.
Okay, so you win a lot. How do you say no?
Actually, you can't say no. You just have to give them something. You can't say no.
At this point, sorry.
It depends on the closeness of like the family with you.
Yeah.
I actually later improved a bit from what I was earning before. Now, so there's this.
How do you say no? That's the question.
Now, this is the way I've learned to say no. The first 5-6 weeks, people will gush on. They'll definitely want to, because it was a sporty bet, and I want like 100K and so. So, them knowing that I want that amount of money, especially all those Egbon Adugbo, they would come. People you know that you just say, bros, well done.
100K is
Who are
not much money now.
No, for like if you win 100K with sporty bet, it is much more. I don't know how to explain it. People will just hear about it that that guy win 100K. You will know they will hear.
But 100K, what I'm saying is 100K is not a lot.
No, take
I'm just using that as an example.
Okay, yeah.
So this is the way they would come. Alpha, bro, help me with this. They'll remind you of when they were with you and how they were suffering together with you. But you need to take a stand and let them understand, because definitely there's one thing that we call termites. They will creep into your money and eat it all.
And so how do you say
this is the best way? You be frank and you be very brutal with them.
What would you say?
I don't have, I'm sorry.
I mean, brutal with your immediate family members.
Immediate family is different, but for some certain
We're not talking about Egmont, but let's remove them.
Immediate family.
Immediate family. How do you say no?
By showing them the project you are doing.
Show them. Okay, so you have to have a project that you are showing them. Okay, you're about to say something. We'll come back to you.
It peeped into my showing of the project, because this guy in particular I'm talking about, as his dream is portraying.
The guy you are talking about, is this guy you?
No.
Okay. Just to be clear.
He has his dream is pursuing and it is clear. So you're talking about how to say no to the family ones or the family members when you get a big hit. So this thing is very clear, is that they should know your dream. Your family will know where you're coming from first and know where you're going to. And everything.
Mama, they don't know your dream. They just know you have money.
Yeah, sure.
Actually,
They know from... It's true. Coming from the house, you will tell them this. And when they ask for the money, you tell them, okay, this is what I want to use the money to do. Please, this is the dream I'm following this money for. So, can I?
The problem is that
they call you a selfish person.
They call me fine. You know, as a father or as a mother, I'm not in the right position to take care of you now. You are the one. So, me pursuing my dream and telling me I'm a selfish person, I know it's part of life, so I have to move on with it.
Okay.
So
let's
we can't an election now.
I pushed this far to draw a point to you.
Okay.
Right. And the point I want to draw to you is the fact that it's going to be extremely hard for you to say no to people if you don't know why you have to say no. When we were preparing this particular show, there was a question you asked about financial assistance. Can you ask them that question? I pushed that to you because I wanted to lead into the conversation.
Like, I think the question I asked about financial is like, do you factor in financial aid in your monthly expense?
Exactly. So I have that. So would ask that. Well, right now we're talking about why do you have to say no to people who are begging? Okay.
Family.
Why? This is it.
Why?
when we started having this conversation, we started out with the premise that everybody here, for some people here, you have asked people for financial help. For some people here, people have asked you. Some people have been in the middle. You have asked, you have provided help, and you have gotten help. Right? Some people are in that particular situation. Now, we're asking, why is it that you need to say no? Because there's the general assumption that it is right. It is acceptable to ask people for financial assistance. And there's the general assumption that people would ask you, you have to find a way to dodge it. But the question I'm asking now is why do we need to say no? Okay? And he asked you a question, he said, do you guys have an amount allocated towards financial aid? So does anybody here know why you need to say no when people come begging?
You have reasons why you say no now. You have reasons. You come to me and I tell you, okay, I'm doing this, I'm sorry, I cannot give you. I have money. My parents, my family, they get money, but it's not everybody that wants to help you. Even if you're in a very, I think there was one time in school then, okay, my mom doesn't have, and I lost my dad. I was only, my mom that trained me. And our family members has money. They refuse to give her. Do not that they are even doing any project or anything. Their children are going to the best schools in Nigeria, this one, Canada, Europe. They will not give you.
And you resent them for it. Do you resent them for it?
I think so.
Yes. No.
The way she's talking.
I'm going to, if I have money today and I just feel it, just tell them that Oge has hit 1 million now. You see all of them. They will surely come around you.
All right.
Do you resent them for it?
Yes.
She does. So Oge is, and I say this respectfully, you are, with this story you have said, you have put yourself in the category of people why we have to explain why people need to say no.
Yeah.
Yes.
I say it respectfully to you. This is respectfully. But does anybody know why we need to say no? Because this show is, the reason why we're designing this show is we really want to help folks.
Well, I think to prevent it from being recurring, or to prevent like other people from coming around, because sometimes it's just unsustainable on your part. If you can help someone today, but you can't help the person every day, every month, and so on and so forth. So sometimes people just say no to prevent it from recurring. Because if you give the person this time, definitely that will give the person confidence that if I ask him next time, it may happen, it might be right and so.
Okay, so I must confess to you, we had an agenda going into this show, and I'll tell you what my agenda is. All right? Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to run a monologue now for the next probably 2-3 minutes. Okay, it may be a bit boring, but just pretend it's interesting and laugh. All right? So the reason why we're having this particular conversation, okay, is because it's getting progressively harder in the world for most people to meet their living expenses. And the challenge is that when people are much younger, they don't understand what it costs, okay, to take care of themselves into old age. Most people don't understand it. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Most people do not. Most people don't understand the cost of starting a family. Most people don't understand the cost of paying your own bills in old age. I'm going to say something respectful to Dasola, right? At this particular point where Dasola is, all right, at this particular point with the conversation she has, she can send people messages and some of them would respond largely because they want to date you. It's a superpower. If you talk to most women in their late 50s, early 50s, late 50s, it's a superpower that does not exist anymore. You'll get a particular point in which nobody wants to mess with you, and it's you for yourself. Okay? Most young men do not understand exactly how hard it is. All right? Once you start eating your early 40s, late 40s, early 50s, your energy levels will not be the same way it is. Okay? In your 20s, you can close from work, go for a party overnight. The next day, you go back to work and you don't feel anything. Once you get into your early 40s, late 40s, 50s, if you try that, you may break down. Do you understand me? So the human body is not physical. You're not physically capable of what? Of the kind of stresses that you would have done in your 20s. As such, people have to start planning for old age. much earlier. Do you understand what I mean? So we'll go into this why. And I say this for your friend, Lois. And one of the reasons why we are laughing is your friend probably has aunties. He has a mom at home that he should be helping. Do you understand me? That money will be useful for his mom. From the point of utility, you are smiling. I'm not calling you. You're a beneficiary of that. But from the point of utility, your friend, the young man, does not benefit from transferring that money to you. In fact, if your friend there was your older brother that sent that money to a girl, what's going to happen? If you saw that girl, you probably want to collect it back. Do you understand? So we're having this practical conversation, and women are much more smarter than men when it comes to these things, because women kind of like understand the true value of money. Right? Most ladies if you have an aunt, you have an auntie, you have an aunt, you have a mom and all that. Some of them will tell you, I have been around women in which I've heard the older women telling younger women that collect as much money as you can. You won't always be this hot. You guys tell us the truth now.
Yeah.
Am I lying?
No.
Eh?
True.
You guys, you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Older women will like, collect whatever you can. You will not always be this hot. Okay? And there's a wealth transfer going on. And unfortunately, young men, the money, I have seen men, when I was in my 200 level in university, when it came to Valentine's Day, I saw people give the equivalent of vehicles to ladies. There's a particular girl I remember, the boyfriend she was dating then, I think he bought a generator for her. He bought the widest screen TV we had available then. He bought it for her. In fact, there was a friend of mine who was in 200 level that the guy had a culture shock, because this guy was one of those people that the community sent them to school. You know those people that people contribute to send. So when the guy got to school, and the fact that a generator in his household is community project, the fact that a guy will buy a gen and gift a girl, the thing blew his mind. There are people who spend that much money on women. They didn't get married to them. Do you understand what I mean? So from the point of utility, for the guy, it's a waste of money. Okay, we're not saying that it should not be done in romantic relationship, but we are saying that it's important for people to keep their eyes focused on their money. Because once you reach a particular age, that money is not going to come as easy as it is. Okay, so that's why. Now, how do you do it? So we're going to talk about how to do it, and once we do this, I'll take a couple of responses and then we'll begin to close out the first show. Okay, you have to learn how to vet people. Okay, your conversation about your friend is a separate conversation altogether, but we have to learn how to vet requests. I say it respectfully to you guys. You would need to be able to say no to the kind of requests that are not life-threatening. And those ones, they're extremely difficult to do when it is family members. In fact, I will tell you the truth. For most family members, you would have to set aside some money to help them. You cannot say no. And there's a reason why. And there's a reason why I would say, particularly for your folks, for your parents, if you reach that point in which most of us don't do it, also because people are still young. There are people who are taking responsibilities for. Is there anybody who is taking responsibility for their parents? You have to take responsibility for your mom and your siblings and yours. Are you? Okay. You are?
Thumbs.
Okay, so thumbs up.
I can't fully chest that I'm the one, but
you are doing
we
something
are
small.
homeboys, so it's always a collective effort.
Okay, which is fantastic. But it's also important. I would say for your friend, you should not put that this conversation we're having about begging. His direct parents do not fall into that category.
Yeah.
All right. I would just take. You should take it out. He has an obligation, because if the tables were flipped and he had to ask his parents, you can't call that begging. And so he has to have those things. You have to have pure, candid conversations. The way you would have problems is with siblings, because a lot of times it's going to be hard for siblings to understand that you seem to have a lot of resources at your disposal, and you do not want to give them. Is anybody in that category?
Yes.
You have issues with siblings. Would you care to share, or you would not want them to see this and put that pour petrol in the fire?
So there was this time I and my brother, we don't relate that much, but I gained admission. It felt like I'll be having money since I take allowance from my dad and all sort of things. Yeah. So he came to my DM one time and said, Afa, if you run me sub, I'm like, okay, the first time I did. And the second time, I just had to change it for him that, guy, I'm a student. What I earn is not as what you guys put on the table and all. Like, before I cater for myself, there's books, there's some money that they will send to me that I'll just have to like use to get these books, and you're telling me to sub for you. No, me, I know if you run this one, no, I beg. Since then, he don't even bother entering my DM because that is one.
You know why I smile now? When she said textbook, you know why I smile?
That was my source of income.
It's everyone's source of income. As a student, if you don't add money to textbook, definitely
You don't know what you are doing.
you don't know what you are doing.
I buy every single textbook.
I don't even, there are some textbooks I don't even pay for. Like, I collect the money and
I
I
don't
don't buy.
pay for it. I just collect
So
it.
because
And your parents are going to. Your parents are going to watch this.
Daddy, mommy, if you are watching this, I am honest. I get things that I felt like they are important. Although no, they might actually want to like tell you these textbooks are actually important, but you know, it is what it is. You had, if I want to collect maybe 1.5, please, so no vex. Maybe 1.5, I can just tell them it's 3K. You know, there are sometimes that okay, you don't have money with you, but those textbook money will just like be there for you.
Happy your life.
Exactly.
So you fought with your cousin,
My
Brother.
brother.
because you did not want to spend your textbook money.
I didn't fight with him. I told him the fact.
Okay.
But you are blunt to every people the way you were blunt with him.
Me, I am blunt to everybody.
For me,
my
it's
no is a no. My yes is a yes.
For me, it's like my cousin, because my brother and sister, he knows that those ones, when I was in school, he knows those ones used to give me money. My mom monthly, my brother monthly, my sister monthly. So even if I will surely ask, I will surely ask those ones that. So every time we just come to my DM, Uncle Absi, please come and give me 2K. Uncle Absi, please do that for me. It's like every week. Uncle Absi, and you know, some kind of person I don't know how to. I hardly say no. So he will always come. So I just said, please, I don't have money. If you need money, we can go to my brother and my sister. For me, I don't have money. This money they are giving me, I'm just managing. And ever since then, no.
Has anybody here been called wicked because you had to turn people down?
Yes.
Yes.
Me, I'm not.
Many
though.
times.
Have you been called wicked because you had to turn people down? That means people. So when you turn people down, they like it.
They don't
They
like
just
it,
accept.
but they just
They will even
accept.
say it to
I
my
have.
face.
Me, they
I
don't
turned
call me
one particular guy down, and he's actually my cousin. He stays with me. We were living together, and I had to turn him down.
How many times?
It was like 4, 5, 6, 7 times
Yeah,
at a
that's
stretch. I was so hungry, and I got so pissed at him. You kept on asking me for something, and I'm telling you, young man, this resource right now is not available from me, because I don't have that money to spend on you. You definitely would think I am holding up money somewhere. I'm bulking up money somewhere because you see that I could have. This is the old truth. I recently got an iPhone 14, and the moment he saw that I got an iPhone 14, was like, young man, send me money. I'm like, I don't have money.
You have money.
Yes, now you have money.
Wait. I want to ask you.
I don't have.
Wait, how can you tell us that you bought an iPhone?
I don't have money. Let's be.
How much did you spend? Okay, let's. How much did you spend on the iPhone?
The iPhone was around 700 plus.
I say you don't have
Please
money.
don't end the show. Just stop the show. Stop the show.
It's like getting a car and you say you don't have money to fuel it.
No.
Did you pay cash for the?
I sold my old iPhone so that I'll be able to afford the new one.
So
So I
it's
just
like,
had
swap.
one.
Is that you didn't pay 700?
No. Why would
You
you
added
just
how
take
much?
money and just go and pay 700?
And whether you like it
You
or
still
not,
have money.
you still added money because you sold the old one and added money and
to
took
it.
And if
700.
you're adding about 200 or 300.
Are you
Just give me
kidding me?
something.
You
But
see, it's a lie.
Wait.
Okay.
That's one plot.
Listen. Baba. Let me tell you what you are doing. Someone has done it on this show before. What we are looking at something. Everyone can see that this thing is a dog. And you are telling us it's a monkey.
the real truth is, when I wanted to buy that iPhone, I had already budgeted it for a couple of months before I
it's not you are not buying your story. Let me put it this way to you: the minimum wage in Nigeria. Please, let me check the minimum wage.
30K.
Yeah. Is it 30 now?
It's 30, not 33.
How much is minimum wage in 1 year?
360K.
For 2 years.
720.
Somebody working woman will work 2 years for that phone you're holding your hands and you're telling us you don't have money. The person that was begging, does he have minimum wage? Does he earn minimum wage?
He's a self-employed person.
Are you sure that guy has 30 grand to spend every monthly?
He spends more than 30 grand monthly.
Okay, let's put his expenses on 30K per month because most entrepreneurs fall in the category of people who they'll be asking them to subscribe for them, but they're 30K. Your guy will work 2 years for your phone. You have more. You have. Let's not. If
you are wicked.
In fact, I have to defend the guy because you are actually wicked.
At that period, I was literally.
How much
broke.
was guy asking you?
Oga.
Okay,
you broke. I was broke now. When after getting it, I had to put a pause on any money I was spending because I felt like that was too much for usual.
Oh my God!
Not that you do not have any money inside your account.
No, I have.
There's money. You are wicked.
You're not broke. You're wicked.
Okay, so let me put this to you, right?
Okay.
Someone called you. Someone saw you buy a phone. Someone saw you spend 2 years of the minimum wage
to get a phone.
To buy a phone. Then he asks you for money, and then you tell him you don't have. There's nothing.
There's no explanation.
Him otherwise.
You can't convince him.
I am trying to tell you. Okay, I take it back. You're not wicked, but you are appearing like a wicked man. Right? So, jokes apart, there's really no way you can convince such people that you don't have. And that also takes us to another part of the conversation. It's extremely hard for you to say no to people if they feel that you're living a lavish lifestyle.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So.
But the whole story was he came. He was with me for a couple of days. We were together. We went out together.
What you said now reminds us of someone mentioned him because of
people
the show.
Can spend money and
someone said that people can spend money on you. Who was the person? Someone mentioned during the show that people can spend money on you.
I think she agreed to it. Somebody around here mentioned it. She agreed to it.
I think she was
some guys can spend money on you, but they will never give it to you. Yeah. She said it.
Yeah.
She agreed to it.
That's like guys that will take you to the bar. You tell them,
it's so cute with alcohol.
I need 50 grand to sort out an issue. I'll pay you back, honestly. And then they'll tell you, I don't have. Or in front of you, they will buy you 50K worth of drinks.
Yes. They won't buy more than that.
Or buy you.
They will buy you. I'm talking about you. I said, like, just
help me with this 50K now.
You get so
even 2K CF, they're not for job.
We'll go into the show. We'll talk about the pressure too. Usually it's been our experience. So with this, I'd like to say thank you very much for coming on the show. So we'll do a quick recap to recap the essential points that we're able to capture within this show. Within this show, we've been able to illustrate the differences between when family members, friends and family ask you for requests and when you have requests from strangers. We mentioned that from friends and family, it's a bit much more difficult to say no to those requests because those requests are coming from a personal place where the person has like an emotional pull on you.
Yeah.
We're able to identify that women, young women particularly, who still have their sexual appeal intact, find it easier to convert advances that they're not interested in into opportunities for billing. I will give advice to young men out there that they should save themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, much to the chagrin and the annoyance of the young women. We also mentioned that when it comes to friends and family, we may also have to take there's a thin line between people begging you and obligations that you as a child owe to your parents. There are some of those things that you do not need to be asked for. Yeah. You have to try to take a look into people's lives and say that, what can I do? Yeah. What does this person need that I can do to help? One of the things we were supposed to mention during the show, which we did not get into, was the fact that you should try to address people's needs and not their wants, because a lot of times some people will use the avenue of asking you for money, whatever. They'll use the avenue that they think you have money to ask you for money. We also touched point on one final issue, that we have to also take a clear-cut look at the way we spend, because sometimes we may be the one advertising to people in our personal lives that we have money, we have spare money. Okay, it is well known that you do not go along the streets of Lagos Island there, wearing very, very large, expensive gold wristwatch on your wrist. they may snatch the wristwatch, or in worst case scenario, they may chop off your hand. So in that same vein also, a lot of people will not understand if they feel that you bought a very, very expensive luxury item and you cannot address their simple financial request. All right. One final thing. The reason why we need, to take a clear look at people's requests is because of this. Everybody grows old and there are bills and there are responsibilities in old age. At this point in the show, I'll tell you this. Okay. My background, I'm a public health physician by background. And maybe the reason I'm giving you this advice is not altruistic. Okay, maybe I want you to get to old age and have enough money to be able to pay your health bills. Or rather, maybe I want you to get to old age and you will not have to beg doctors and nurses like us to work for you for free because you have dashed your money out in young age. Okay, when people grow older, bills come. It's very, very rare to find anybody in their 60s who does not become hypertensive, who does not develop diabetes or one form of disorder. It's extremely rare. Okay, and when that old age comes, what determines people's length of life usually is the amount of wealth or resources or family of wealth or resources that they have been able to put together. So it's important to realize that whatever expense you are spending right now, you will need that money in old age and plan accordingly. So thank you very much for joining us for this part of the show. Usually the first show is people do not get out of their shell and all that. We understand. You don't feel that the show is dead. You just gotten to know each other. In the second act of the show, we'll talk about the pressures that we face, all right, to succeed in Nigeria. And I want us to be as honest as possible. Thank you very much for making a round of applause for
So I wanted to ask you, you said that your friend of yours, his father helped him, like that person, just like a godfather. Mm-hmm. So he's just trying to reap the seed that his father planted. A bit the fruit then, yeah. So I don't think the mother is doing a wrong thing. Because as someone that has this let me just be like this. You are reaping someone's property. It's still your father, but you not work for it. It's just something that, okay, Odele or Bani. So you should have an account to like give to family. Because you cannot exactly. Okay, yeah. Okay, even I want to ask, is the father still alive?
Yeah, sure he is.
He is?
Yeah.
Okay, the father is alive. And the mother was not supposed to ask you before you do your responsibilities. Okay, you met this person and your father helped this person, and this person is trying to pay you back probably by sending you to school and sending you some sort of allowances, and you trying to like build something like a project that you're trying to like sort out for your own self. You forgot your family. That is how things happen. Imagine if the father is no longer alive and the mother doesn't have any income, definitely is going to like leave the woman stranded. Yeah, and the woman is just going to suffer for the rest of her life, of which the husband did is he planted a seed that is supposed to like
investments.
Exactly.
And the guy is reaping the return. So it's not even his money.
I believe the guy is wicked.
Yeah.
And the mother is not a beggar.
The mother is entitled to
it. Assuming the mother is not entitled to it, now I will understand that. I will understand.
Do you want to respond?
Put yourself in that shoe whereby you are very tight at the corner. Nothing coming in from your family and nothing going out from your family. Meaning no income coming into your family and none of them give you anything to cater for in school. And someone is there sponsoring, giving you what you need, and they call you. At that point in time, you've not reached the age to cater for your so-called family.
Let's allow him to finish.
I get him somehow.
Yeah, you've not. But yes, I know it's fine. Giving to family is actually worth it. But there are some people that will ask without that understanding. And at this point in time, there is one kind of emotional blackmail they are painting on his face that even though he has the intention of giving, with that expression of you
and not a son. Because of he can't give. Shows how deep that thing is to him. Because now he has the money already. Yes, he might even want to give, and there are things he has to do. Yes, I know his family are going through some things, but you're painting into him that just give us like as if we're about to die. What about if the money did not come? When they survive?
Even if.
Come on now.
Wait. Sorry, I need to understand. Is it that the guy has the money and he's not giving them? Or he himself is in a tight corner and they are not understanding that he's in a tight corner?
Thank you very much. Now he gets what I'm talking about. Yeah, thank you very much. You get what I'm talking about. He also is in a very, very tight corner.
So he doesn't have the money with him at that particular point that they are requesting for it.
Oh, he's in for a project.
Or is this pursuing his dream?
The money does not come in as steady or big as it is. And he has a project he's pursuing for this thing. He's in a very tight corner. Like I said, he's a student.
I think, can I say something? I think you should pursue. Sorry.
You shouldn't pursue
this project. But that money, you see, your premise is on. You said there's no money coming in from the family. Money is coming from the family.
Yes,
is it money? The father works for the money.
Exactly.
You understand? It's not as if so the money is actually coming from the father. Do you get? Now, I think if I was, I'm not your friend, but I think if I was your friend should disclose how much is coming in.
Exactly.
Then how much is, I'm just to play of myself in your friend's shoe. Discuss, okay, this guy gives me 50K per month. I spend 30K on myself. I can give you guys 15K or 20K. I think if you have done that,
it will be called.
But it's possible that the guy is probably displaying he's not revealing how much is coming in, and they would think that the money is so big or that. Do you understand? So I think the guy should be playing to them.
Exactly. Do you have those details? Did you have details that is clarifying?
Yeah, because your friend
from what I am saying,
like the issue you are painting as if the guy worked for the money.
Exactly.
Do you understand? Like he worked for the money and the family. It's not his money.
It's Abil. And the father is still alive.
Even if it's money, your parents should give your parents money. But this one is not even your money. It's just as if
he asked me to paint myself.
Sorry, guys, you're talking at the same time.
If you're in that shoe, what you're trying to tell me is you do exactly what you say you're doing.
Of course, if I've been in that shoe before.
It's just like paying it tight.
Okay, sorry. You're in that shoe, you do exactly what you say you're doing.
Yes.
So, and how are you trying to paint, or who do you think this guy, my friend, is? I just want to get.
Now, I don't know who your friend, but I assume that your friend is a student. Now, I assume your friend is a student who is not working, he's only schooling.
Okay.
And someone is giving him money because of the work his dad has done. So I assume that your friend is collecting some money and he's using half of the money for his personal dream and project and spending half of the money on himself. Well, of course, he will be in a tight corner because he put himself in that tight. Not as if he put himself in that tight corner. If the money wasn't coming in, would he go on for a project? Within a project?
Exactly.
He wouldn't put any project. So I think your friend, if in fact project doesn't finish and dream doesn't finish, true, you can be pursuing your dream small. If it's 20K you're putting, reduce the dream to 10K. Because at the end of the day, you can't. If now your mom and your dad, they're already telling him that he's not his son, blah 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 blah. No matter how the guy wants to put it, they are still
for
your
himself.
parents.
He painted it for himself because I believe you said I should put myself in that shoe, of which I can't fit in. I will just imagine.
Yeah.
I can't fit in. And you even sound like you are the person.
Exactly.
You sound like the person.
How do you have so much information?
I'll come in right now. Whether it's not the person or not.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
So let's not.
I know.
You can't. Even if his friend was here, you cannot join the family in castigating him, and you cannot go and pull the resources out of the person's pocket.
Okay.
You have to strike a balance.
Okay. Sorry. I'm asking this question. Sorry. I just want us to be realistic about this thing because I'll be taking everything I hear here over to him.
Okay.
For a form of help. So I want us to be real. That's why I ask. If you're in that shoe, will you do it? And
then
yes. I feel he's the only one that can say this thing on how it is.
Exactly.
Because he's saying the way. How well do you even know this guy?
Very, very close.
Well, let me just say, if I was in his shoe,
okay,
let me tell you what I'll do. I'll just get a sharing formula. Tell the family that this is what is coming.
Yeah, explain now.
But within this time frame, and this is what I'll be giving to you to you.
And I put it to you and your friend.
And they'll be comfortable with it.
Yeah.
If there's
Thank you
sincerity
very
and there's truth.
And I put it to you and your friend that if the table was flipped, his mom can't block him.
Exactly. Yeah. Because mother will always be there
no
for
matter
you.
how heavy his billing is on his mom,
They're just, I don't have money, you can't come and kill me.
So why
what
exactly
they have?
will he do it? They can't.
All right, so I'll strike a balance. I'll strike a balance because you guys are giving him, again, we'll give you counsel. All right? I've not been in your friend's situation, okay, with parents. I have been close. I have been extremely close. And I will tell you that you have to strike a balance. Okay? Your friend cannot hold on to all the cash. He can't hold on to all the cash. And I'll tell you the reason why he cannot hold on to all the cash. He can't hold on to all the cash, particularly because from the standpoint of goodwill that is supposed to exist between people. You know what goodwill is?
Yeah, sure.
Goodwill means that we work together well. I see an opportunity and I tell you that this opportunity exists. Right? Recommend this person or whatever. From the standpoint of goodwill, he needs goodwill. And you can't force goodwill. Okay, so he probably would have to part with something. But he has to strike a balance. Okay? Some of you may say that you should tell him exactly what you are getting. That may help. But it also depends on the kind of people you are talking to. Okay? Because if you are a student, for instance, and your bills are a particular amount, and the parents or the siblings who are requesting for want him to supply them with something which is a huge chunk of what he is getting, there's going to be an issue. But at the same time, if the relationship that sends the money does not exist, if that relationship doesn't exist, your friend probably would have to be begging his parents. And they would have to find their ways to help push him. So he has to strike a balance. And I will tell you this, that how long has this been going on for this story?
Over 2 months.
So this is a rough story. It's not even
a long story now. So
it's not a long story.
I don't have you blocked themselves every 2 months.
I would tell you, this is what I would say. The resources that they are sending, are they sending the resources to support the person's education?
Yeah.
Okay, so and what can you share what the person's dream is?
Okay.
Is it a business?
No.
Or is it a building project?
Yeah. He's working on his podcast. So something like this, and a computer student, yeah.
So he has a studio.
He's working on it.
On a podcast. Yeah. Okay, so apart from the podcast, is there any other thing else?
Yeah.
Can you be specific about what the dream is?
Yeah, he wants to be a computer programmer, and definitely he has to go for lessons and schools and everything he needs.
So what they are saying to him, he's supposed to pay the fees for those classes.
Not to pay it at once, but to build him little by little. So
are they sending the money little by little? Is it a lump sum?
Little by little.
So the money is coming on a regular basis.
Yeah. Anytime he asks, he gets.
Okay, so if anytime he asks, no, I want to clarify. If anytime he asks, he gets. Why can't the
sorry. If he's
saying that story, you've left a critical part of your story out.
Yeah, the story is not clear.
It's not.
I think
this is what I'm getting from your. Let me tell you the way the story. This is what's come to my mind, though. Let me just tell you this what's coming to my mind from your story, and I'll use an illustration. Okay, I'm not saying this is what your friend is doing, but your story is sounding like your friend there. All right, has somebody that is coming, and the person is formatting the person on a steady basis, and the family members are asking for money. That's the way the story is coming out. Because it's not, if the father and the mother have direct access to the person, they just talk to the person directly. They don't need to talk to your friend now.
Exactly. So it's
I don't. And if your friend's dream is to be a computer programmer, so you're a computer programmer.
It's free.
It's not expensive.
The parents can ask the person.
The person directly than you going through the son.
So, and a good laptop.
Because at first I wanted to.
My brother,
I need to understand why is it that they cannot ask the person directly? They have to ask the son.
Okay, fine. Based on thank you for what she said. She said man or men has ego, and you can't expect sorry for using you as an example, sir. You actually have someone you brought up at his early 20s or so. You're running around and everything, and you actually don't even basically invest money on him, but you gathered him, you organized him, and you brought him to the limelight of he is a man and this I should do, or this I should work as a man. And he finally, over the years,
successful.
Yeah, became successful. And you have a son that's in school. Although during those times when you were motivating him, being a mentor to him and everything, things were still going steady for you. And this guy is a younger version
of the father.
Very younger version, you know. And now his son is...
So in summary, the man is paying back to the son the favor he owes the father.
Yeah.
So now that the son is getting the payback for that favor, he has cut the family members off.
Exactly.
Like,
how does that sound to you?
That's what it is now. Yes. Is there any variation of that conclusion? Is there any variation? Is there any way you can explain away that conclusion right now? Now that he has secured, now that he's getting the benefits of his father's favor, has blocked his family members. Is that what's happening?
Now I'm trying to go straight to your question that you asked that why can't the father go through the man instead of the son?
The father is ashamed.
Thank you.
He doesn't want the man to see him as if he has failed. I get that right now. The question I'm asking that, is there anything? This is our conclusion now. The son is benefiting from the favors his father granted. Is there any variation of that? Is there any way in which you can say that is false?
No.
Then I can tell you that if that is the case, all right, it's wrong. It's absolutely wrong for him to block his parents. He has to sit down and he has to have those conversations. There's no, I'll tell you, there's really no way you can, there's no way you can go about. And I'll tell you, the reason why is because life has a way of switching. If somebody finds himself in exactly the same situation,
Sir, I want to say something.
He becomes the father.
I feel the guy has... There's a way a mother and child can have this conversation. You don't want your father to know about it. There's something the guy has said to the mother, that the mother knows that this guy is collecting this kind of money from this person. She will surely ask.
It will not even be something. It's something he has done.
You know that he has done something. That story never completes. You don't do something.
You don't have the full details. Something that happened to me before. Can I come in?
Okay, let's hear. I was supposed to close this out, but you guys have opened up.
There was a point where I needed to.
Okay.
Normally, as a good son, you send money to your parents, of course, to my mom. My dad is late and all that. Do you get? Now, there was a point where I needed some money to do something to really like do some stuff. So I couldn't send her the way I would normally send her. She'd probably be expecting. So I had to go home and tell her. I had time to tell her. So I told her that I'm taking a course that requires me to pay this amount. Do you get? And it's a period of this is the duration of the. So like I made it long because by that time I finished what I was doing. I thought, okay, so I might not be able to send you, but at least I'll be tipping you. So once in a while, I'll send her, even though it's 1/4 of what I was giving to her. Do you get? So I at the time, in fact, she's the one that, in fact, I forgot that I told her I was taking a course. I told her, Alpha, I pay by your course. It's still going on. So the billing is. It's not even billing. Like the expectation is low. Now, I know that after the use stuff, because I give her the time period, after the use stuff, she might expect, but I've bought time already. Do you get? So I just think that probably that's what your friendship. That's what I said. That's what I would do because that's what I did. I told her, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. I can't give you like I used to do. I'll give you something. Do you understand? Now she's a mother. I'm not a woman, but she's a woman. I've related to some women, and she will. In fact, she'll be. Do you understand?
What?
Listen, let him clarify one more thing so that we don't keep going round in circles because we have other shows.
At this point in time, it looks as if the family actually put the father aside and just place him in the point of fatherhood. Okay. That's how I want
to. You're not talking now. Before you did not say this.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Sorry for not even. Like, they are trying to push the father aside and putting him in a point of fatherhood because he has been telling me this and I've not been in that position. And he's my...
What do you mean by place him in a place of fatherhood?
Like, okay,
this thing is as if everyone is tight in the family. So this money that you are getting, because he made it clear to them that okay, it won't look like as if I'm collecting money from the back of someone. Okay, this is what this certain brother is doing to me.
Yeah, okay, how much? Like, let's just give us an estimate of what's the size, so that we're not. This is not theory.
Okay, first to get a rent for his house and everything, it got up to 200.
So the guy sent 200 grand, and they knew that the guy sent 200 grand to him.
Yeah.
Okay, so after that, does he give him an allowance every month?
If he's done, yeah, he does.
Like roughly, give us the frame of the allowance.
Close to 15-10.
10 every on a monthly basis. He gets 15-10 allowance.
Like how he gets it is when maybe probably full stop finish anything.
So not necessarily that the month needs to run out before he gets the 15 or the 10 sometimes.
Does your friend have a lump sum of money with him?
No.
So he just has access to be able to request.
Yeah.
So are they asking him to request their own with his own request?
Nope.
They're asking that whatever he gets, he should share with them.
Yeah.
And the maximum size of what he gets is 15K.
Yeah.
And he can't give 2K.
That's the
inside.
maximum. 15K.
Yeah.
And out of that 15K, how much do they want?
He actually don't tell me the amount they want.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then the second set of questions we have is this. What kind of lifestyle does your friend live?
He's a very reserved person.
Does he use a gadget or whatever that would signify
Is he
that?
flamboyant?
No. Just since he's a computer student, only one laptop is full.
So this entire quarrel is over 15K a month.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's 200K. Did he give you parents anything inside that 200K?
No, it's to just rent his apartment, gets everything.
No, see, you don't want to go far. See,
He has
the boy
seen,
don't.
okay, fine.
Sorry, the 200K, did he give you parents inside?
He not
the
give him
200K?
mama.
No.
Even
Wait, he's wicked. The boy is wicked.
Listen, your friend, let me tell you, your friend needs practical wisdom. Everything in this.
Collect
listen,
all the key,
everything
no
in
give
this
your
life-
wife anything.
You know, even supposed to do 200.
Everything. Are you listening to me? Are you listening carefully? Everything in this life is not mathematics. Okay? There's something about practical wisdom, street wisdom.
Yeah.
Your friend has to find a way, and I don't know how he's going to do it, but just give me this advice so that we can close out this show. And you've heard from several people here. He has to find a way. If it's 5 grand or 10 grand, he has to find a way to save it up and give it them and unblock them. 15 grand a month is not worth going to war with your family over.
Sure.
Because if that person over there, if anything should happen and the guy dies and he now needs, he's not going to be able to come back to his parents.
Exactly.
Do you understand? Sure. You can argue and you can say, I've seen this kind of situation before. There probably is arrogance on both sides. Maybe in the middle of every single thing, terrible words were said. Somebody called the other person selfish. The other person said that maybe I should have aborted you as a child. Oh man, those kind of. We've seen those situations before. And at the end of the day, people have to find a way to put aside those differences. He's lucky that it's just 2 months. It's not drag. Let him unblock them. Let him tell them that, well, he's sorry that this is, if I were your friend, this is what I would say. You unblock his mom and say, I'm very, very sorry. I understand things are a bit tight at home. What I would do right now is this. When next something comes, I might be able to set aside something. Okay? However, I need you to realize that I'm struggling over here and this is my only lifeline. Okay? If you do not allow me to do this, I may have to drop out of school. You throw it back. You throw the ball back in their court.
Yes.
You get. So once you do that,
I also want to close the case because it's something very personal. But all this he has done is so he has met a lot of people, and someone told him that don't let it feel, because when you start giving, it looks as if this thing is with you, and the day you stop, because they are saying it as it's every time, and it feels like, can't you guys? No, it's not pushing them out. Can't you guys do something?
But you can still do something as a student also.
Yes. Yeah, I know,
Yes,
but can't they do something? Because it looks like as if, I'm sure maybe out of the 200, I'm not saying based on, I don't know, maybe out of the 200K, it might have given them something. I don't know. But it is looking as if it's consistent. It could have been bad on his side if he had collected the money, because he could keep quiet when he collected the money and everything, and never tell the parent anything, and living his life in school. Big like that in school. And the parents will be there, outside there, suffering everything. And
I will tell you this. His parents are having a very difficult time.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll tell you, if parents have gotten to the point in which they want to start dragging 15 grand with the children, times are hard for them. Okay. So whether you like it or not, this if Ideally, if you are in a situation, you yourself, you probably should just go and help those parents. Okay?
I think
Right? You may not want to give them money. You may want to go to the market, buy foodstuff, and take it home and keep it at home. All right? It's not, the parents may be struggling. Okay? There are some people, and we've had this conversation, there are some people that for them to spend 500 naira on transport, that distance that is 500 naira, for them, it's like traveling to the UK. That's the level of difficulty. Do you understand? So, and I think his parents are in this category. All right? So, I think we should just close out this show. He has to find a way to talk to his parents. And I think it's not just advice in this. They need to find a way to make more money in the family. That's just what.
If that's what I flog her, it's what they can give it. I will flog her.
Let's just close out. Let's close out this part of the show so that we can take a version of.